Hello everyone! In this video I will explain how to use verbs of motion. It's well known that this topic is the most difficult one. Verbs of motion is a special group of verbs which indicates movement by transport or walking. Today we will work only with two of them, the most useful and frequent ones. Probably you know that we divide verbs of motion into two groups, unidirectional and multidirectional verbs. And the verbs we are working on today are идти, ходить, ехать, ездить. So, what's the difference between them? The pair идти, ходить can be used when we talk about any movement walking, when we talk about going on foot. For example, я люблю ходить пешком. So these two verbs we use when we don't need any transport. In contrast, ехать, ездить are used when we go by any type of wheeled transport, by bicycle, car, train, etc. And we can tell about this transport if it's necessary. And for this we put the nouns in prepositional case. So it's ехать, ездить на машине, by car, на поезде, by train, на велосипеде, by bicycle, на мотоцикле, by bike, на автобусе, by bus, на такси и на метро. The two last words are the same always, we don't decline them. And the sentence, as an example, is я не люблю ездить на такси. Now let's look how to conjugate these four verbs. Unidirectional verb идти in the present tense has following forms. Я иду, ты идешь, он идет, мы идем, вы идете, они идут. And only this verb has irregular past forms. Шел masculine, шла feminine, шли plural form. Multidirectional verb ходить in the present tense has following forms. Я хожу, ты ходишь, он, она ходит, мы ходим, вы ходите, они ходят. And the past form for this verb is regular. We use the suffix l instead of the suffix to, and endings of feminine or plural forms if we need them. Two verbs to say that we go by transport, ехать and ездить. Unidirectional verb ехать in the present tense. Я еду, ты едешь, он, она едет, мы едем, вы едете, они едут. And multidirectional verb ездить. Я езжу, ты ездишь, он, она ездит, мы ездим, вы ездите, они ездят. These two verbs have regular past tense as well. Now let's look when do we use unidirectional or multidirectional verbs and what's the difference between these two groups. Unidirectional verbs we use when we talk about something that happens one time or at the moment of our conversation. And indicators for this, the adverbs сейчас, now, сегодня, today, завтра, tomorrow. For example, сейчас я иду в магазин. The second function is when we talk about movement in one direction, when we have only one destination. For example, сегодня она не едет туда. And туда can mean anything. It can be hospital, university, school, and so on. And the last meaning for unidirectional verbs is when at the moment of motion something else was or is happening. For example, когда я иду домой, я покупаю хлеб. So we have a movement in process and it's interrupted with another action. In this case, we also need unidirectional verbs. Multidirectional verbs, in contrast, can be used when action is repeated, when something happens regularly, when we do something many times. And we can use multidirectional verbs with the adverbs of frequency. Регулярно, каждый день, часто, постоянно, редко. Я хожу в магазин каждый день. When we talk about movement to and from, so at least we did two ways. For example, я ездил в Москву. I was there and I come back. The next function for multidirectional verbs is with the meaning to be able to do something, when you have ability. For example, мой маленький брат не умеет ходить. So, my little brother is unable to walk. And the very last one with the verbs любить and нравится. After these verbs, we need to use unidirectional verbs. It's a rule. Now, it's a lot of material, and let's see what steps we need to follow in order to choose the correct verb for a sentence. First, we need to think which verb we need. Transport, ехать, ездить, or walking, идти, ходить. The second step is to choose the correct tense, past, present, or future. For future forms, we use the present forms of the verb идти. They can express plans. So we don't need to add буду in this case. And the last step is to choose unidirectional or multidirectional verb. And the functions we saw on the previous slide. Let's practice a little bit. Now you can pause the video and try to write the correct verb in each phrase, and then we will see at the correct answers. Okay, sentence number 1. If we follow the algorithm, first, here we need the verb by transport because we have the noun metro. Then we need present tense because here we have an adverb обычно. It means it happens regularly. And if it's regularly all the time, it's a fact, means that we need multi-directional verb. And the correct one, обычно мама ездит на метро на работу. The second sentence. Вчера мы к бабушке на день рождения. First, we can think about both verbs here because we don't know how far the grandmother lives. Maybe it's next street or maybe it's next city. So both verbs work for this sentence. We just need to know more context to choose. Next step is to choose the tense. Of course, we use the past because there is a time expression вчера. It means it was yesterday. And then uni or multidirectional, of course multidirectional, because we went to our grandma and then we came back. We did not stay there. So вчера мы ездили or ходили к бабушке на день рождения. Sentence number 3. Ты в бассейн. In this sentence, we can use any verb, but then the meaning is different. It can be by transport or walking, because we don't know how far the swimming pool is. Then we can use present or past, because this situation can happen at the moment of our conversation, or it could happen yesterday, or maybe we are talking about our plans for tomorrow. So again, we can choose any verb. And uni or multidirectional, both can work for this sentence. Just the difference is that it happens regularly, or we are talking about unique situation. So here we have a lot of options. Ты идешь в бассейн. Ты ходишь в бассейн. Ты едешь в бассейн. Ты ездишь в бассейн. Or any of those verbs in the past. Sentence number 4. Куда вы завтра утром? So, here it's clear that we are talking about future, because we have the time expression завтра. And again, we need to know a bit more about the situation to choose if it's walking or by transport. So, in theory, both verbs can work here. But to choose the tense, it's helps us to decide which verb we need, unidirectional or multidirectional. If you remember, on the previous slide, I explained that for future plans, we use unidirectional verbs in the present tense. So we have two options here. Куда вы идете завтра утром, or куда вы едете завтра утром. And the last sentence. Я люблю домой пешком. If you remember slide with the functions for unidirectional and multidirectional verbs, After the verb люблю, we use always multidirectional ones. And because we have here пешком, it's clear that we talk about walking home. So the correct answer is я люблю ходить домой пешком. We hope that this video was really helpful for you. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below. And don't forget to join our school to learn Russian, Russificate.